are now joined by Connor Zilisch, driver of the number 7 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet, and our pole sitter for tomorrow's Expel 225. We're going to jump right into questions. We'll start right there, and then we'll go to Jim, Justin, and then Jim, Zach, down the line.
Howdy, Connor. Wyatt Watson with Frontstretch.com. First of all, what a way to burst onto the NASCAR scene by breaking the track record. How's all the experience you gained from IMSA, Mazda, and ARCA helped you to prepare for your Truck Series debut today?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely not easy, right? I run so many different series and cars, but honestly, I think that's only making me a better race car driver, right? We show up here with 15 minutes of practice and not a lot of time to learn the truck. It's all new to me, but you know, it's really been a 3-month process preparing myself for this race with everyone back at Chevrolet, Josh Wise, Scott Speed. You know, we've had this one circled on the calendar for a long time, so yeah, it feels really good to, you know, have this one, have it started off well, and you know, we got a good starting spot for tomorrow, but there's still a long way to go.
And how are track conditions out there today for the 15 minutes of practice and qualifying?
Yeah, the track was good. You know, I've been here a few times before, and you know, it gets a little dirty in places with guys cutting the track, and you know, I think it's going to be a little bit more to worry about tomorrow in the race, but you know, I'm just going to have to manage it, right? I've never ran a truck race before, so you know, everything's going to be new to me, the fall off, pit road. There's so many things that I'm going to have to learn. So yeah, no, today was good, but definitely going to be a little bit more treacherous tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Jim, Zach, Jeff.
Jim Utter at Motorsport.com. Congratulations, Connor. A couple things. First, a lot of people were talking about during the course of today how impressive you were out there, but I just wondered what you felt was the biggest challenge you had to overcome to get to this point right now.
Thinking long term, short term, today. Yeah, no, probably just brake zones, right? This thing's heavier than a lot of the things I've driven. You know, the ARCA car was kind of similar to this, but you know, I was struggling with a little bit of wheel hop in practice and made a few mistakes here and there. I don't think I did one really solid lap in practice, but you know, I think finding the limit was what was important for practice, right? I didn't really care how fast I went, but you know, I felt comfortable going into qualifying. So I think that's the most important thing, and you know, I feel like I achieved that. So yeah, probably just brake zones. You know, I was struggling a little bit, but we got it sorted out.
And when Shane Van Gisbergen was in here a little earlier, he talked about how, you know, he looks forward to these races because he knows he can be good at it from his experience. But he actually looks forward to the oval races a little bit more because he likes to learn. He needs to learn that. I just wondered what your approach was. Is it similar, sort of, because of your background?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely very similar. You know, I always enjoy new things and challenges, and you know, as fun as this stuff is, and you know, the road courses, you know, I still need to get way better at ovals, and you know, that's probably my weak point, as you can tell right now, based off how I did today. So you know, there's definitely going to be a lot of work for me ahead in the future to you know, understand a lot of the things on the ovals, but you know, I've got a really good group of people around me with, you know, Trackhouse and, you know, working with Spire Motorsports, Junior Motorsports, all the teams that I'm with are A tier. So, you know, it's just going to be up to me to, you know, get out there and figure it out myself.
Zach and Jeff, Rob.
Zach Cipriano, NASCAR. Connor, congratulations. It's one thing to get the pole in debut, which is incredible in itself, but to do so by 3/4 of a second. What felt right for you on that on those laps of qualifying? And were you surprised by just the margin from first to second?
Honestly, yeah, I'm kind of blown away. You know, I handed all off to, you know, Spire Motorsports and the truck that they brought. You know, we had a really fast Chevy today, and you know, it made my job really easy. So, you know, obviously I still got to go out there and not make mistakes, but honestly, I feel like I could have driven that at 95%, and you know, still been able to get the pole. You know, I told myself for that second round that, you know, just go out there and don't make a mistake just based off the gap that I had in the first round. So, you know, honestly, I probably underdrove it a little bit, but you know, I know where I can improve, and you know, I know what I need to do for the race tomorrow. So that's the most important thing.
What felt right on that lap for you with everything stood out?
You know, I don't really point to one certain thing, but you know, when I was around guys in practice, I definitely felt, you know, I kind of said I was struggling in the brake zones to Jim, but honestly, that's where I felt like I was beating guys the most, just getting into the corners better. So, I haven't really looked at data or anything yet, and I wasn't around any trucks in qualifying, but if I were to kind of guess, I would say the brake zones is where I was making up the most time.
Jeff, Rob, Chris.
So obviously, there's a point where you've spent these 3 months or whatever you said was preparing for this, and it all comes out of that moment. How do you avoid not getting in your own head or making sure you're just going to hit your marks and do what you need to do, and not letting sort of the magnitude of the moment get to you?
Yeah, I would just point to making mistakes many times in my past. That's one thing I struggled with, and I actually had to go to a sports psychologist to kind of talk about it, because I get so nervous and amped up before races that I'd go out there and just not do my job and completely mess up. So that's one thing that I've really had to work on the last 2 years, is just not getting too amped up in these situations where I may have confidence, or whether or not I don't have confidence and I'm just nervous. So that's a lot when you look at race car drivers, and people might not see that, but the mental aspect of it is way bigger than people think. And I'm thankful to have very good people around me that make it easy to kind of stay calm, and people in my ear that know what I need. So it's not easy, but multiple times of failing has led me to the point where I kind of understand what I need to do before I go out there.
Were you nervous today?
Yeah, I mean, before, when you're interviewing me there, before I went out, I was definitely a little nervous, but as soon as you put your helmet on and get out there, the nerves kind of go away. When I was out there qualifying, I was definitely a little nervous not to make a mistake, because I knew that's what would be between me and the pole. So definitely a little bit of nervousness, but not too much to make an effect on what I'm doing.
Rob, Chris, and then Tanner.
Rob Tianza for the CodingFish.net. Connor, when I was here for the TA2 race, one of your competitors, Tom Sheehan, said, "Look at that young man, and you'll see the future of stock car racing." And I was thinking, wow, that's a really high compliment. So what does it mean to you for someone who respected as Tom to say that about you? And secondly, it seems like you have this great relationship with Raja and Nick Sanchez. What's it like to race with them this weekend?
First off, with Raja and Nick, it's been really cool working with them as teammates. Some guys you may work with are a little bit more closed off on what they know, and may not want to help you as much, but they've all been really good teammates, Chase included, and have been really open to give me advice. Right, it's my first truck race, so it's not easy, but I've got really good teammates and a really good crew around me, so that helps a lot. And basically, what you said on the people giving me high praise, I really appreciate that, and I think it's really cool, but I'm still not to the top yet, and I still have a lot of work to do before I get to the top. So I try not to let the outside noise, good or bad, really get to me. You just got to kind of stay neutral and continue to work every day to get better, and I think that's the most important thing when you're coming up through the ranks.
Chris?
ChrisKnight.com. Connor, did you surprise yourself today? Did you
I
surprise
100% surprised myself today, yeah.
And then tomorrow you have an opportunity to go for a win in your NASCAR debut, and then you have to fly to Pensacola and then begin a championship assault Pinnacle Racing Group at Five Flags Speedway in the ARC Menard Series East. Just wondered what's your feelings on tomorrow, just knowing that you have 2 races and 2 opportunities to get into your lane.
Yeah, it's I don't really have words to explain the feeling. It's really cool to have the opportunity to race in 2 states, 2 series in one day. It's going to be a really long day, and it's not going to be easy on me, my body, or my mentality. But I've got 2 great teams that I'm working with, and a lot of people around me that are going to make the kind of transition seamless. So I can't really get too in my head, and I kind of just got to stay even keeled, and hopefully both races will go well, and I can head back home tomorrow night happy. It's gonna be a late night, but I'm ready for it.
Tanner, Bob, and then Alan.
Tanner Marlar with Frontstretch. Just 2 things here. One, when you have a day like today where everything seems to go right, how superstitious are you? Like, are you wearing the same pair of socks tomorrow, or like anything like that? And then 2, when it comes to just the speed that you had today, as good as it was, do you feel like you could still get even more out of a lap?
100%. I never really get to the point where I think, man, I'm perfect. I always feel like I can get better, and continue to work on what I'm doing, right? I'll go back to the hotel tonight and, study what I did and see where I can be better. I've only got 10 laps in the truck, so, to say I'd be perfect is definitely a long shot, but, superstitious-wise, I stay away from that stuff. I don't want to get in my own head and start to believe things that may not be true. So I'm going to show up tomorrow with a new pair of socks and hopefully have the same result.
Bob and then Alan.
Bob Hocker, Stock Sports. You said that if you didn't make a mistake, you just go 95%, you win the pole. Is that because you have so many laps here and you know that you're good enough that you don't need to go 100%, or did you feel just the truck was so good and responding to what you were doing that you had that confidence? Because I'm sure that most guys out there, they would feel even if they didn't make a mistake, it's not like they're guaranteed the pole.
Yeah, it's a combination of both, right? I went out and practiced and felt what 100% was like. This is still very new to me, and I was learning every lap in practice, so I just had to stay under the tire and do my part, right? I had a really fast truck, and that definitely made my job a lot easier. But with that, I knew I couldn't make a mistake because, like I said, that's going to be the only thing between me and the pole. So just went out there and hit all my marks and didn't make any mistakes, which I was really proud of. So like I said, it's a long race tomorrow, and there's still a lot of work to do, but it's really cool to be on the pole in my first NASCAR race.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.